Hello students, I am Dr. Navneet Kaur, Associate Professor, EC Department, SIRT College, Bhopal. Today I'll be taking lecture on subject digital communication. The topic of my lecture is adaptive delta modulation. Adaptive delta modulation, which is also called ADM, it is basically a type of delta modulation. It is used to overcome limitations of the delta modulation system, such as slope overload distortion and granular noise. The step size varies according to the time. We require a larger step size in the steep slope of the modulating signal, and a small step size is required when the message has a smaller slope. This kind of detail is not overcome in delta modulation techniques. So we need to have control over the step size according to requirement so that we are able to obtain the sampled output in the required fashion. This is the main concept in adaptive delta modulation. So adaptive delta modulator is used to quantize the difference between the current signal and the predicted value of the signal. It uses variable step size in order to predict the consequent values. In ADM, the voltage gain, which is controlled by the amplifier, is adjusted by the output signal, which is produced from the sampler. The step size is determined by the amplifier gain so that the step size is proportional to the amplifier gain. Now, difference between the delta modulation and adaptive delta modulation. In delta modulation, step size is fixed for the whole signal, which I have already discussed in my previous lectures. Whereas in adaptive delta modulation, the step size varies depending upon the input signal. The slope overload and granular noise occurs in delta modulation, whereas these errors are removed in adaptive delta modulation. The dynamic range of adaptive delta modulation is wider than delta modulation. The adaptive delta modulation utilizes bandwidth more effectively than delta modulation system. Now, this is the block diagram of ADM transmitter. So this transmitter is very much similar to the delta modulation transmitter, except for the step size control unit. So here we have input, which is the present sample of the message signal, which is compared with the previous sample prediction, and the error is generated ELTS. Now it is given to the 1-bit quantizer. This is same as the delta modulator system, but here we have additional component, which is logic for step size control. So here, according to the polarity of the error signal, which is given to the 1-bit quantizer, the output is decided. So here we will get the variable size of the output, which will be added with the previously predicted sample, and it will generate UNTS, which after a delay TS will generate UN minus TS, which will be the predicted sample from the previous samples, which will be compared with the next incoming message sample. So here we can see the comparison between adaptive delta modulation and delta modulation. Now here we have a message signal. Now in this region, we can see that there is a steep slope of the message signal. That means the message signal shows a rise in the amplitude. So in case of delta modulation, what happens? There is a fixed step size. So delta modulator will show a output which will go on increasing by a fixed step size. Since the step size used is fixed, so delta modulator output will not able to cope up with the steep increase in the message signal. Whereas in adaptive delta modulator, there is a variation in the step size, which we can see in this waveform. When there is a steep increase in the amplitude, there is a larger step size. So we can see that the step size goes on increases. So in this case, the adaptive delta modulator output will able to pick up the message signal. So there will be less difference in the message signal and the quantized output. So the error will be smaller. Now this is ADM transmitter, which is given in detail. We have message signal XT. Then we have quantized signal XQT. Here the two samples are compared and the error signal DT is generated. So here we can see that DT will be given to 1-bit quantizer. We will generate a quantized output. Now here we have product modulator. Now the product modulator has another output as the pulse generator. Now if the error will be positive for more than 2 or 3 samples, the pulse generator output will be multiplied with the positive error sample and the output will be the positive. Now, larger positive signal when giving to the low pass filter and the square law device, it will give further larger output, which will be given to the variable gain amplifier. The variable gain amplifier will be controlled by the output of the square law device. Now, since the output of the square law device will be high, the output of the variable gain amplifier will also be high because it will increase the gain of the amplifier. Now, it will be given to the integrator, which will add it to the previous sample, and the next sample will come and the both values will be compared. Now, this is how the value of XQT will try to pick up the value of the XT, which will be shown in this figure. So here we can see that when the error sample is positive for many samples, in this case, there will be increase in the step size, and this is how XQT will able to cope up with the message XT. So here we can see this is our message signal. This is the quantized output, which is shown in the form of the steps. Now, here the quantized output is less than the message signal, so there will be increase in the step size. Now, again, it will be delayed by TS. Now, again, it is less, it will be increased by sample, it will be increased by step size. When there is continuous increase in the step size, that means 1 bit is transmitted. Now here we can see, because of the continuous 1-bit transmission, there will be increase in the step size so that the quantized output will try to pick up the message signal, and it will have value near to the message signal. So here we can see this is the region where the message signal does not show much variation in the amplitude. So here we will have alternate 1010 bit transmission. So in this case, when these values will be integrated, it will produce a very smaller value, which will reduce the gain of the amplifier. And in this case, the step size will be reduced. Now, continuously variable slopes delta modulator is a type of adaptive delta modulation which works on the principle of the adaptive delta modulator. Here we can see that this is the message signal and this is the predicted sample or the previous sample prediction, and it is given to the difference amplifier in which the two values are compared and the error signal is generated. Now this is the product modulator. This error signal is multiplied by the pulse generator, and when these two signals are multiplied, output of the delta modulator signal will be generated. Now here, when there will be continuously positive value of the error signal, the pulses will be continuously positive values. And when this continuous positive value will be given to this integrator, which is formed by the combination of resistor and capacitor, it will generate high value. This higher value, when given to the square law device, it will generate higher value, which is given to the gain control input VGC. Now, this gain control input will increase the gain of this variable gain amplifier, and it will be then added to the previous sample, and the larger value will be generated of MCAT-T, which will be compared with the next incoming sample of the message signal. And this is how the step size is varied according to the variation in the error signal. Now here we can see that VGC is the gain control terminal When VGC is 0, then amplifier gain is low. And when VGC increases, amplifier gain also increases. Now, this will be the served by integrator, which is formed by RC combination, and VC is used to control the gain of the amplifier. Now, this square law device ensures that whatever the polarity of the VC, positive voltage will be applied to the gain control terminal of the amplifier. Now, in case of granular noise, when message makes small excursions such that the output of the modulator gives alternate polarity pulses. These pulses, when integrated, gives very small average output. So in this case, the gain of the amplifier reduces and the step size will also reduce. Now, if message signal increases positively or negatively at a rapid rate, then in case of delta modulator, the predicted signal will not be able to follow it. P0T is then a train of all positive or all negative pulses. Now, in case of ADM, integrator averages and provides larger voltage to increase the gain of the amplifier. So step size will increase whether VGC is positive or negative because of the square law device. This will reduce slope overload error. In delta modulator system, the modulated signal is applied to the non-inverting input of a high gain differential comparator. The reconstructed signal version of the signal is applied to the inverting input. The difference comparator is in saturation either positive or negative depending on the polarity of the difference voltage between the input signal. Now, this is the block diagram of the ADM receiver. Now, the input, which was the quantized version of the error signal, is transmitted via the channel and is received at the receiver. Now, this quantized error signal is controlled by the step size control unit, and it will generate an output which is given to the accumulator, which will add to the previous predicted sample, and the previous predicted sample will increase in the amplitude. Now, this previously predicted sample, when added to this error signal, it will generate a quantized signal which has an amplitude closer to the message signal. Now, when it is given to the low pass filter, it will generate an output which will be similar to the message signal which was transmitted. Now, this is ADM receiver shown in more detail. Here we have received ADM signal. It is given to low pass filter and square law device. When the error signal is positive for continuous many output, when given to the square law device, it will generate a larger output. This larger output will increase the gain of the variable gain amplifier. So here the output will be higher, and it will be then summed up with the previous signal, and the recovered signal, it will be your message signal. So here you can see when EQT is positive for continuous samples, in that case, the step size will goes on increasing, and the output signal will be closer to this quantized signal because it will be given to the low pass filter, and we will get the received signal which will be similar to the message signal which was transmitted at the transmitter. So here we can see the receiver has two portions. The first portion produces the step size from each incoming bit. The previous input and present input decide the step size. Then it is then applied to the second portion, which is an accumulator, which builds up staircase waveform. The low pass filter then smoothen out the staircase waveform to reconstruct the original signal. At the receiver, a regenerate reshape the received signal and removes most of the quantization noise. This signal is then fed to another integrate, which reconstruct and M-D, the step waveform. Then it is passed through low pass filter to remove the quantization noise. Here we can see comparison of digital pulse modulation methods. First, we have pulse code modulation, then differential pulse code modulation, delta modulation, and adaptive delta modulation. All these analog to digital conversion methods have been discussed previously in my lectures. Now, first parameter of comparison is number of bits. In PCM, we can use 4, 8, or 16 bits per sample. In DPCM, bits will be less than PCM. Whereas in delta modulation, it uses only 1 bit per sample, and same in adaptive delta modulation, only 1 bit will be used to encode one sample. Now, second parameters is levels and step size. In PCM, the number of levels depends on number of bits. Step size is constant. Whereas in DPCM, fixed number of levels are used in same as that of PCM. In delta modulation also, step size is fixed. Whereas in ADM, according to the signal variation, the step size is varied. Now coming to quantization error and distortion, in PCM, it depends on the number of levels used. In DPCM, slope overload error and quantization noise exist. In delta modulation, slope overload and granular noise exist. Whereas in ADM, only quantization noise exists. Slope overload and granular noise both are removed. Transmission bandwidth is highest in PCM. DPCM has lesser bandwidth than PCM. Delta modulation has lowest because only 1 bit is transmitted, and ADM has also lowest bandwidth because it transmits single bit. Now in PCM, there is no feedback. In DPCM, delta modulation, ADM, there is a feedback circuit. Now for system complexity, PCM has complex system, whereas DPCM, delta modulation, and ADM has simple system. Now this is all for today's lecture. Thank you.